I think some of the best people to teach on leadership are not natural-born leaders. If you're a natural-born leader, you just do it. For those of us who've had to learn, well, maybe we can teach what we've learned to be a good leader, especially in Christ Church. I won't speak on the business world or some other kind of leadership. Transparency is the best type of leadership. It also helps you sleep well at night. When I came to Greer First Baptist Church, one of the promises I made, and I put it in writing, was we were going to open the doors of transparency in this place. I mean, if you're a new person visiting our church, or you've been a part of our church 90 years, and thankfully we have some, what we're trying to do and how we're getting there, we tell them the same thing. It's open, it's transparent, it's honest, and here's the thing. Transparency is the bridge to trust. And if there's any organization that has to have trust that's indispensable, it is Christ's church. Be open, be honest, be transparent, be vulnerable. I mean, that way you're not hiding anything. You're honest where your weaknesses are. Christ tells us not to boast about anything. It gets on my nerves when I or other pastors tend to boast about ourselves. That's not our role. If you're going to boast on anything, though, boast in your weaknesses. Boast of where you need help. The Apostle Paul is clear that we boast in nothing else except Christ and Him crucified. And if we are resolute on that with transparency, you're going to see good things happen. It's hard for me to ever lay it down. It's phone call away, or it's thinking about what's next, or, those Sunday sermons, they keep coming every week. I mean, there's just no stopping it. There is an inherent loneliness you've got to figure out how to deal with. But I'll say sometimes we compound that loneliness if we are afraid to be transparent, if we're afraid to make friends in the church, if we are afraid to be open and honest about our deficiencies, if we're trying to fool people about stuff. But that makes you feel alone because you're not who you really are, and you're not as open and honest with what's going on. Let's say, for instance, your ministry's not going very well. Well, be honest and tell people. Don't try to hide it. Don't spin it. Don't hide the numbers. Tell people, say, I'm trying to do this, it's not going very well, but pray for me, and I'll take input, and let's try something different. And I think that'll help with a little bit of the loneliness that some pastors feel overwhelmed by. Yeah, going verse by verse, chapter by chapter through a book of the Bible solves a lot of problems. Number one, no one can ever accuse you of aiming at them for some specific kind of secondary, kind of weird issue. We tackle books of the Bible, and we go verse by verse, chapter by chapter. And you do that long enough, you're going to hit everything. I mean, you're going to hit all the touchy issues, but you're not really aiming at them. And I honestly think it builds trust in the church for your leadership, and it's a lot simpler to do. So what do? Early in the year or during the year, I pick at the most 3 or 4 books of the Bible, and we go through them. I mean, we just go by them chapter by chapter. And I promise you keep doing that, and you're going to hit everything that needs to be said about making disciples in God's church today. New Testament-wise, it's the way that we are commanded. Paul told Timothy to preach the word in season, out of season. And the way you do that is verse by verse, chapter by chapter. One advantage I feel like especially pastors have today is if you're around people that are not involved in church, many that do not claim to know Christ, maybe it's the neighborhood or the ball field or working out or wherever you're just around, restaurants, maybe you can do something or say something or encourage someone to break down some bad barriers of someone they remember in their past. Maybe they had a bad experience at church. Maybe a pastor said something wrong to them or hurt them in some way. Well, okay, but if it has to be genuine. People can smell a fraud a long way away, but if you can be genuine and care for people and try to get to know somebody, even if they're totally different than you, I honestly think that's enjoyable. I really think that's fun. A lot of ministers feel like, well, if I meet someone, and on a scale of 1 to 10, if they're a 2 as far as interested in Christ, and 10 would be someone that has come to Christ, they feel the pressure to take that 2 in one conversation to a 10. Well, maybe you can take that 2 to a 3. Maybe you can take that 2 to a 4 and continue that relationship. They're bound to ask you what you do for a living. I mean, you try to be honest with that, of course, completely honest. And I don't know, you can make some headway for the gospel in that way. Be you. Now, I'm not saying be inappropriate. I mean, always know who you're around, what you're doing. But don't be silly unless it's okay to be silly for a minute. You know, my girls, they allow me to be silly a little bit. But be who you are. Don't emulate someone else you've seen on television. Don't emulate somebody you follow on social media. Preach like I mean, sure, you can learn things. Be you. God made you, and you are unique. Leverage those gifts. Leverage those things for His kingdom. And if you're trying to be somebody you're not, everybody's going to be able to sniff that out anyway. Be transparent. Be honest. Be open. Be who you are. And Christ will bless that.